Hello, everyone. Um, Welcome to ME 4150 heat transfer in spring 2021. We're still in the virtual mode, so I don't really get to see you in person, but I have made another video to describe about myself. This video is focused on the syllabus for the class, and then I'm explaining to you how we're going to navigate through this course together. So, as you know, my name is Dr. Reza Lakhe. I have more information about myself on my homepage, which is located under this link. And my email address is also listed here. You can also see a link to my personal Zoom meeting room, which I use for office hours and meeting with the students for different reasons. If you want to meet with me for any issues related to this class, this is how you're gonna request an appointment. So if you go to this link, it's going to be like a calendar, and then you can book me during the times that we can have a meeting. So once you fill the form there, you will receive an email, and then a calendar invite will be sent for both of us, and that will include the link to the Zoom room, which is my personal meeting room. Okay, so we're still in virtual uh, instruction, therefore our um, instruction is going to be fully asynchronous, meaning that there is no mandatory face-to-face or Zoom meetings. So you can totally not see me on a Zoom meeting, and you go through the steps of this class and pass the class. You're always welcome to schedule appointments during my office hours, and if you want to chat about this class or any other issue, you're always welcome to do that. So the prereqs of this class are listed here. You should be ME major. You need to have a C minus or better in Math 2040 and Math 2016, or Math 2024. You also need C minus or better in ME 3011 or ME 301 if you're transferring credits from the quarter time. You also need C minus or better in ME 3111 or ME 311. So if you don't meet these prerequisites, you should not be enrolled in the class, and you need to drop the class as soon as possible. The textbook that we're going to use for this class is actually a very standard and helpful textbook. It's a very conventional, so if you talk with almost most of the people in the field of mechanical engineering, they will remember this textbook. And that's Introduction to Heat and Mass Transfer. We're gonna use that. Of course, a digital copy is going to be available through Wiley Plus. I'm gonna explain that. So let's go over the required technology here. So since we're virtual, you need to have access to a reliable internet to watch the videos and do the online assignments. You need to have a personal computer, an engineering calculator, Microsoft Office, like Word and Excel, and then Adobe. Wiley Plus subscription is required for this class, and the way you can integrate Blackboard with Wiley Plus is going to be through this product ID. You need this number to make sure you're looking and connecting Blackboard to Wiley Plus. Then there's a class section ID, which corresponds to the sections that you have you're enrolled. So if you're in first or fourth section of ME 4150, you need this section ID, and if you're in the second, then you need the second one. In addition to this required resource, there is a recommended resource, which is heat transfer design, heat exchanger design by AP for us. And there is also a group me chat for this class. I have placed the link here. I have already created the group me page. So all you need to do is just use that grouping. So it's not mandatory. We're not going to do anything there, but it's a place for you guys to discuss different issues related to this class. I will explain later that I may or may not check this GroupMe page, but it's still kind of like a check-in tool that we use to, if there are announcements. I'll definitely use Blackboard for that, but I may be in that room to chat sometimes. Catalog description says the following about this class: basic principles of conduction, convection, and radiation heat transfer, one-dimensional and multi-dimensional conduction, steady and unsteady state, theoretical and empirical relations for free and forced convection in external surface flows and internal flows, heat exchangers, and so on. So you can read that description later if you are interested. I have also provided a more detailed outcomes for this class. We don't need to go over it together. I just want you to go over it by yourself. I'm just telling you that what you can expect to learn from this class. So now, how am I going to evaluate your performance in this class is based on the followings. We're going to have 7 quizzes. So you have 7 learning modules that you're going to do, and each learning module is going to have 1 quiz. So 7 modules, 7 quizzes, and then you will have a final exam, which is 30% of the grade. And based on these, we're going to have A to F letter grade distribution as a standard. So some important information about the class are listed here. So if you're registering here, you're acknowledging that you meet all the prereqs. And if you don't have the prereqs, you may be given an F if you don't drop the class. Communications and announcement will be through Cal Poly Pomona's email account or Blackboard. You're responsible to check your emails regularly. This is a fully asynchronous virtual class. There are no mandatory face-to-face or Zoom lectures. There are 7 learning modules that are assigned in Blackboard and or Wiley Plus, and each learning module is consists of a reading assignment, a video lecture, homework for you to do, and then at the end of that there is a online quiz in Blackboard or Wiley Plus. Now, again, if you want to talk during office hours about this class, I have a link here for you to schedule an appointment so that I can have more organized time with everybody. We don't want to have a waiting room. So that's why I want you to first make sure you book an appointment before coming to the Zoom room. If you think our discussion is going to take more than 15 minutes, you can add more than one time slot. If you think we're going to talk for half an hour, feel free to book more than one time slot. Each time slot is 15 minutes. Okay, so I know, everybody learns in different ways. Like people have different methods of learning new things. But here is some study guide for you. So if I were taking this class as a student, I would go through this study guide. So I would start every module by reading the book chapter. I'll tell you which book chapters I want you to read in each learning module. Then I'll want you to watch the video lectures, which I will post for every module. Then there will be things that will be harder to understand, and you may have to go back and forth between the video lecture and reading the text a few times. Before the quiz days, I want you to make sure that you have gone over the homeworks that I post for every learning module. Remember that I will not be collecting the homeworks. So I'll assign the homeworks and I give you the solutions, and I want you to look at all of them individually as individual questions, and then look at without and try the questions without, in fact, looking at the solutions. So once you do that, then you're ready for the quiz. So for every module, we're gonna have the same pattern. So there are things that you're gonna do on your own. It's reading the book chapter, watching the video, and doing the homework. These are things I don't have control over, so you're gonna do them by your own. There are things that you will submit, and I will see is 7 online quizzes and the final exams. So remember that that's how I will grade your performance. So we talked about homeworks already, that they're not going to be collected. Quizzes will be open book and open notes, and will be given as shown on the course schedule. We'll look at the course schedule together. Uh, Quizzes may take up to 1 hour. You can access them only on the dates that are mentioned on the course schedule. So you have limited time to do them. If you miss that time, you've missed that quiz and you've missed that grade of that quiz. You must start and finish the quiz in one sitting. You cannot start now and then come back in, one day to continue. If you start, you have 30 minutes up to 60 minutes to finish that. So there are absolutely no makeup quizzes. If you miss a quiz, you will receive 0 for it. Your worst quiz may be dropped. So it's not necessarily, it's just may, depending on class average and performance. And that's how I curve the class, curve the grades of the class. Final exam is going to be a 2 hour open book, open note test. Again, it should be started and submitted according to the course schedule. We're going to look at the course schedule next. If you want to appeal any grade, any of the quizzes or the final, you have only 1 week to do that from the time that the grade is submitted. And here's the process. You're going to send me an email and explain why you think the grade is not correct, and then attach any documents that you need. I will reevaluate your grade and will send you a response. And then we decide over email if a Zoom meeting is needed or not. Most of the time, it's not needed. GroupMe is our unofficial discussion group for this class. You can discuss and engage in these group discussions. So instead of using the discussion board of Blackboard, which I don't really think is a good tool, I want you to use the GroupMe. And but remember that GroupMe may not be used to ask me questions. So if you ask me there, I may check it, once a week or once every 2 weeks, or um, depending on what my workload changes. If you have questions that you want my response, please uh, go to the office hours. So you're highly encouraged to use calculators that are approved for fundamentals of engineering exam. So at this point in the program, you all should know what fundamentals of engineering exam is, and you should kind of think about when is the time that you want to take that exam. And you can use any calculator in that exam, and the list is given in this link. I want you to check that and see um, if your calculator agrees with that. Um, you will not be given incomplete for this class. It's a pass or fail type of a class. You're expected to read, understand, and accept the College of Engineering's policy on academic integrity and academic dishonesty under this link, which basically summarizes things that we need to respect, especially on number 14 on plagiarism. So, plagiarism is defined as any attempt to represent the words or ideas of another, whether published or unpublished, as one's own. It's a violation of university policy and will be considered a serious offense. This honestly will result in failing the course and possible report to Cal Poly's Director of Judicial Affairs. Um, well, I understand that every student at Cal Poly has a life, and many of us belong to a specific. We may face a specific circumstances, such as a first generation student, dreamer student, veteran, underrepresented minority, or member of LGBTQ community, or have a disability, or a combination of all these. So regardless of challenges you face, I want to work with you and help you to succeed in this class. So if there's any special things that you think I can do, uh, you're welcome to let me know about that. So this syllabus is subject to change, and if there are changes, I will announce that change in Blackboard. So the attachments to this syllabus is the course schedule, which we're going to look next, and there are this video and the other video about the class that I want you to watch in preparation for the first module to be assigned. So now I'm gonna show you the course schedule for this class. So it gives us a very detailed uh, plan that I have for this class. It starts with Module 1. Module 1 is going to be starting on Monday, January 25th, and it's going to continue until um, Sunday, February 7th. During this Module 1, which is 2 weeks, we will study chapter 1 of the textbook and part of chapter 2. Excuse me. And at the end of this module, towards the end, you have 3 days here from February 5th to February 7th to do the quiz 1. So all the learning modules are designed in the same uh, format, that there is usually a 2 week gap, a 2 week module, and the last 3 days is your quiz days. My goal is to have all the materials for the module uh, made available in Blackboard by the first day of the module so that you have the whole 2 weeks to study that. And then, if you need to schedule a meeting with me, you have 2 weeks to do that. And then once you're ready, towards the end, you have 3 days, which is basically a Friday plus, a weekend if you have to use that to submit your quiz. So same pattern, and I have the book chapters that are going to be covered on the side. Um, Module 5 is going to be a special one because it will span through uh, the spring break. Spring break is from March 29 to April 4th. So we're going to have that. We just jump over it basically and then have the quiz right here on from April 9 to April 11. And the last module, our seventh module, is going to be a special one as well. It's going to be a 3 week module. So I will cover 3 chapters in that module. So once we go over all of these, we're going to have one final exam, which you will have from May 19th to May 20th of 2021 to submit the final exam. And final exam is cumulative, including everything we learn in all of these modules. So it's a pretty uh, simple structure for the class. It's a modular structure and one exam. If you have any questions about how we're going to do this class, you're always welcome to schedule an appointment with me and let me know about your question.